Hello, friends. How are you? How's things? I'm good, and I had a plan for today, and this was not the plan. this is this is for those of you who don't know. Last week I was not here. I mean, I pre-recorded the last three episodes. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday's episodes last week were pre-recorded. We do holidays with Malia's family, and I had thought about taking the camera and stuff up there and doing videos from there, and I didn't. So I was actually here for Friday. I could have redone something on Friday, but I chose not to. I just let it run, which is fine. But I had planned. I got some Christmas gifts, and one of them I was going to kind of finish here and then show it to you and have a little thing. That was the plan for today. But instead, I forgot that this was on the bench. This is another bass compressor pedal kit that I built. I got this in the mail a couple months ago. This is a kit from Musikding.de. This is the Engineer's Thumb V2 circuit. So this is another compressor, but this is an IC based. This is an LM13700 based compressor, not an optical compressor like the last one I built. The last one I built uses a light emitting diode and a light receptive whatever, and uses that for compression. This uses an actual little microchip. So I built this on Saturday because I was planning on working on the kitchen island. I wanted to get the legs trued up and then get the plywood out and start cutting the plywood down. And my table saw blade was so dull. I cleaned it a little bit ago because I thought that maybe it was bad, but it wasn't. It got dull from cutting all the vinyl flooring, which just wrecked it. And to try to cut through 2.5 inches of hard maple, it did not like that. So I turned that project off, ordered some saw blades, which I got last night, and instead decided I would continue spending time down here, busted this kit out, built this kit. It took about maybe 4 hours. I'm still waiting on the knobs. They're supposed to be here today. I thought I had knobs that would fit it, which I do. They'll technically fit, but they'll interfere with each other in these three positions. This one I decided not to paint and not to do anything fancy with. I have one of these old Dymo clicky label makers, and I thought that was just a cool aesthetic. So I just used it for all of the stuff. And I tell you what, this one's good. This one's real good. I like the optical compressor. It's very noisy. This one is a little bit noisy. Not super noisy, but noisy enough that with studio headphones on, I can hear it. Which I got studio headphones for Christmas, so I have like actual good studio headphone cans. I can hear the noise there. If it was a live setting, you wouldn't hear that noise. No big deal. But all in all, this thing is fantastic. And the noise might be the power supply. I'm also waiting on a power supply today to see if that's part of it. This is a really good compressor. I can highly recommend this. From what I understand, this LM13700 circuit, this is the actual circuit, the Engineer's Thumb V2, is based on, like, it's a clone of an older circuit that's been around forever. It's not a complex thing to make at all. And it's tried and tested and true. And it's a very, very, very good compressor. It has an attack and release that determines when it kicks on, when it lets go. So you can adjust like when it latches or whatever. It has a level. This is basically just volume. Because this compression will take some of the volume off. So you need to kind of add a little gain. This is a little gain stage that uses, I believe it's a TL74 for the gain stage. I think that's what that's for. It's got a ratio, which I believe is like a blend. I'm not 100% sure what the ratio does. And then, of course, the compression sustain thing going on here. Threshold. I called it threshold. very cool pedal. I'm not going to demo it today. I might do that for you if anybody wants to hear it. I think it does. It's actually fantastic. I bought this because my friend Nathan, who plays bass for Flogging Molly, they have one song in their set where there needs to be some kind of noise in the beginning. It's in on the recording, I believe it's like a storm sound, like thunder rolling type thing. And the guitarist Dennis, he kind of creates this cool vibrato effect by sticking his headstock against an amp and then playing, and it makes that extra vibrate. It's like feedback essentially without being feedback. He gets that cool sound, and Nathan's been trying to get something like a little rumbly sound with his fingers, but he's kind of messing with the volume knob to kind of keep it sustaining because he doesn't want to keep plucking. He needs it to be more just like a long drawn out note. And so I had mentioned to him that I built a compressor sustainer, and he was like, "Oh, I'd like to try that. Could you bring it?" And I said, "Yeah. The only problem is it's noisy." And he's like, "I don't know that I care." And I'm like, "All right." And I wasn't super happy, and I had heard really good things about this kit, so I bought it. Again, das Musikding.de. I'll put that in the description. It's a very good kit that has no instructions. And I don't mean it has zero. It does have like a basic wiring diagram, wiring guide that shows you how, how generally to put the kit together. But this is pedal agnostic. So to figure out what goes on the board, you have to know how to read a schematic. You have to find the piece you're looking for, put it in place. Because it'll just be like R2, like resistor 2. And you'll have to find resistor 2 on here and go, all right, that's a 1 meg. Put it in there. So it's a little bit fiddly to put together because there isn't like super clear instructions. Some of the things I had to look up because there's a transistor in here that is kind of backwards. The emitter's on the wrong side. I don't know if it's just that transistor or whatnot, but I was like, I think this is wrong, and I had to go look it up, and no, it's right for that particular transistor. Whatever. But it went together in about 3 hours total. And that was me sorting the parts, trying to find trying to read the schematic. I did mix up. There's a 220 ohm resistor and a 2.2K resistor, and I got those mixed up. And I had to unsolder and resolder. But other than that, super fancy, I mean, not fancy, super quality little kit. I absolutely can recommend it. If you've been thinking about building a pedal kit and you need a compressor, this is a fantastic option. I think it sounds fantastic. If I can get the noise floor a little, I don't know that I care. Again, when you're on a stage, if you've ever been on a stage with like 800 watt amp, there's just a general hum anyway. This isn't going to really affect that much. And you could always pass this through an EQ, and a little bit of high pass would pull it off no problem. So cool kit. I need to clean this up. Maybe tomorrow we'll do the other thing that I was hoping to do, but also tomorrow's New Year's Eve, and I kind of have some plans for, I might wait until the New Year's to talk about this year. I don't know. What do you think? Do you want to hear about this year? Do you have any questions about this pedal kit or whatever else? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends, wonderful people. I really appreciate you. See you tomorrow. I don't know why I picked my phone up. Today's 1,000 plus little things happy, successful people do differently. We are learning, what are we learning? 10 actions that always bring happiness. On number 4, we are embracing life's challenges. You may think that taking a detour in life is a waste of time and energy, but you can also see the detour as a means of learning more about who you are and where you're heading. Being off the beaten path may be disorienting and confusing in times, yet it challenges your creative spirit to discover new ways to build a stronger you. I think this ties in. Last week we talked about like being on the edge of a challenge. That's the same kind of thing. Like embrace the fact that life took a detour. I lost a couple rows of shingles in a windstorm last night. I'm upset that I have to spend money, but also I might get it's going to be fine, right? I learned a little something about insurance. I learned a little something about contractors. I'm learning as this progress goes on. It's okay. It's just a challenge, and I'll be a stronger person for it.